Hello, I'm Sinta Danu, and I am a professional psychic and astrologer, and welcome to Celestial Guidance. So this is a weekly astrology and tarot live session on Facebook that I later share on YouTube. I'm going to do a general tarot reading for the week, just for kind of everyone, and those ones can kind of have an effect even past this point because it just really kind of depends when you see it. Like you'll see it when you're meant to, basically. Before I get started, I do want to announce my class. So if you haven't heard, I am doing an astrology basics workshop. So this workshop consists of 6 workshops over the course of 6 weeks. And these workshops are on all the astrology basics. You will be able to read an astrology chart by the end of this course. Now, I did have a deal for $125. These courses are about $200 if you bought them individually, because the cost of the course individually is $33.33. If you bought all 6 classes together, that's just under $200. So it's a $200 value for this entire course set for all 6 workshops. And I did have a deal running for $125. I have all those spots taken now, though. So the first 5 have been sold. Now I am offering another deal set, only 10 spots, so 10 bundles available for $150. So if you are interested in learning astrology, if you want to learn more about astrology, definitely sign up for the course. This is for everyone. I've designed it so it's really easily understood and digestible. I've seen a lot of astrology courses that are not easily understandable, especially a lot of astrology books specifically are not really easily understood. They're very wordy, very intellectual, kind of very up in the air in how they describe things. This is really to the point, very grounded, very practical in how I explain all of the things that you will be learning. And this course is 6 classes, 6 workshops with me personally over Zoom, and it consists of going over all the bases. The first one is just an intro to astrology of what everything is and what it's used for, and then we get into the specifics and details of each of those subjects, going into the 12 signs for one of the workshops, going into the 12 houses for another, going into the 10 planets for another workshop, going into the aspects for another workshop, and then the last workshop is pulling that all together on how to read and kind of navigate a chart and put all that knowledge together and get some practice with it. And I will be doing future courses. I'm already thinking of the next course set being about different types of charts. So if you are looking for some more advanced stuff, keep your eye out for that. But yeah, so that's my spiel about my workshops. They are selling out quickly, so if you really do want to sign up, I will leave a link in the description along with a link to sign up for a personal reading if you want more one-on-one personal advice, as well as there is a link in the description to get a free birth chart, because I do suggest that while we are doing this, that you have your birth chart ready in order to get the most out of the Celestial Guidance sessions. So I always have a link to getting a free birth chart on my website. So check out the links. And if you're interested, sign up because they are selling fast. I only have 10 spots available at the price of $150, and I still have quite a few people interested in this course. So the next thing we got to get into is the general tarot card reading for this new moon. We're going to get some general advice for how do we deal with this new moon? What does this collective need to know about this new moon? All right. So let's see what is the general advice for this collective that's going to see this video. What do you need to know about this new moon? So let's see. Okay, so I'm seeing you're a little bit stuck. It seems like you're not super quick to get out of bad situations, which is a little toxic. No judgment. I've been there. Sometimes it's really hard to leave bad situations. Sometimes it's hard to leave emotionally unproductive situations. It's really good. Easy to get caught up in cycles, especially when we're deeply and emotionally involved in a situation, especially in regards to love specifically, which, there's a lot of relationship romance stuff with this situation. But it seems like you're really in a place where you're You're not moving out of a bad situation. You're stuck in an unproductive emotional cycle. And you might be with someone who's a little bit toxic, kind of presents themselves one way, is actually another. I'm getting kind of very much like siren vibes. So you might be with someone who's kind of toxic, who might be really seductive and really charming, but might not be a good person or might not be very well off mentally. And you haven't been able to remove yourself from the situation. You're kind of stuck in it. Or even if you have, you might be stuck emotionally, still involved with the situation. Oh, this is interesting. So what's working for you is, this is soulmate energy. So you've known this person before. So this is someone you probably had many lifetimes with. They are a soulmate. They could be a karmic soulmate, which is not super fun. Not necessarily a good thing. But there is definitely this deep connection. There's a deep spiritual connection. There's love on all levels. And that's probably why you haven't left the situation, is because you have connected with this person on every level, right? Like mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. Like there's a deep connection here. But again, like, it's so funny that I said siren, because no, wait, these are mermaids, by the way. So it seems like this is part of some past incident as well. This is part of like some kind of karmic thing, I think. A lot of water here. You might be a water sign. If you're a water sign, this is definitely for you. Let's see what else we got going on. So what's not working for you is you're being too logical. You're trying to be too calculated. You're trying to be too cold, too logical. You're not really taking your feelings to account. You're really overthinking the situation and being a little bit cold and harsh and coming at this from like a really, really calculated place. Very, very decisive, very active place, but like it's not what the situation calls for. It seems like the situation is very much of an emotional nature, and then you need to kind of address your emotions around the situation. And instead you're just trying to be overly logical, and that's kind of keeping you from actually processing the situation properly. Okay, yeah, currently there's, you could, be moving, may have started a new job, may have started a new relationship. It looks like this is probably a new relationship, and there's probably a lot of passion, and things are probably moving really fast because you're really connected to this person. There's a lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of fire, just so much movement, and not force, but just like it is pushing and moving forward really quickly. Oh yeah, because you do really like this person. They are a soulmate. Okay, so subconsciously though, it seems like you've been really focused on working on loving yourself more, which is really good. You're really focused on self-care, self-love, and that might be why you're being so logical and clear and decisive about things, is that you are trying to protect yourself, make sure that your needs are met, and I think you have good intentions, but you're not addressing the underlying emotional side of this, right? And maybe not taking their emotions into consideration. Might be a little too focused on you, maybe. Okay, so it looks like in the past, you definitely were kind of making yourself miserable. So you were really detached, pulled back from your emotions. You've probably been very distant or avoidant in relationships. And that's kind of the root of kind of what you're doing now, is you're used to kind of keeping people at an arm's length. You're not used to letting people in. You're used to putting up walls and maybe boundaries, but more so walls. You're very used to being kind of more detached, more cold, more distant, and just kind of not really feeling fulfilled because you're detached both from yourself and other people. And you are working on self-love, and that's good. And it's kind of helping you to move past being so miserable, because you're not quite as detached from yourself now, but you're still not really letting anyone in. Okay, in the near future, you have a decision to make, and you need to really make sure, is this what you want? That's the truth. Is this person really what you want? Is this the relationship that you want? You need to make a decision, because once you make this decision, you can't undo it. So take some time to really think about it, like, and not just on a logical level. Like, yes, take logic into account. Make sure you're not, putting up with toxic behavior. Make sure that you have boundaries. Make sure that logically this relationship makes sense, but also make sure that emotionally it makes sense. Like, do you really love this person? And what are you willing to compromise on? What do you need versus what you want? What can you compromise on? You can't compromise on what you need. You can compromise on what you want. So figuring out what you can compromise on, and if this relationship can fit that dynamic or not. So really take time to think about it, because once you make this decision, you can't undo it. It's going to go off in a direction that you will not be able to control. Like, you will set something in motion that you can't stop. So you need to make sure that you are really clear on if you want this relationship to be or not to be. Okay, so fear. Yeah, you're afraid that you don't have the tools that you need. You're afraid that you're not in your power, or that you might step out of your power, give your power away. You're afraid that you can't create the life that you want. There's a lot of fear around creation and manifestation, not being able to do it properly, right? Manifesting the life you want, having the relationship you want, having power in your life. There's a lot of fear of giving that power away. Okay, and it seems like, so the people around you are kind of influencing you in kind of a negative way. They're giving you some unrealistic expectations. So if you've been talking to your friends about this relationship or your family, they might be giving you some advice that's actually not really helpful and gives you unrealistic expectations of relationships. Especially, relationships are hard. You have to work at them. They're never easy. And if they're easy, something is really wrong. Someone's not being themselves. And that will later become a huge problem, especially in regards to like one or both people resenting each other. So take into account that the people around you might be negatively influencing you and kind of creating this unrealistic expectation for relationships that's actually going to hurt you. And is also, in a way, taking your power away. Like, that's part of how you give your power away, is having unrealistic expectations of other people. Okay, so the result of your thoughts and actions. I don't know if you would propose to this person, but if you did, you're probably not getting married. You're putting the proposal off for some reason. Putting the wedding off if you have proposed. If you haven't proposed, you're not going to propose anytime soon, based on your thoughts and actions currently. You might also very much be feeling out of your masculine energy, feeling like you don't have really good control over the physical realm. And you might even be being a little controlling for some reason, probably because you feel out of control, that you feel like you don't have power and control. So you might be trying to control others because of that. And the end result is you're suffering and you're not learning the lesson. You're not figuring the lesson out. You're just suffering. But you will release some sort of burden. The burden is coming off your shoulders. You're putting something down. Yeah, but you have to figure out, you need to listen to both your heart and your head. You can't just listen to one. And I know you really are trying to be super logical, but you need to listen to your heart too. Your heart has something to tell you. And it's when you find that middle ground, when you figure out that place between your heart and your head, that these burdens, this feeling of heaviness will lift. And you need to really focus on your own finances. But yeah, the lesson here, I think, is finding that middle ground between your heart and your head. Like, you have the emotional strength to take this. You know how to get through this, but you really do. You need to find that middle ground. Because that's the lesson. The lesson is the middle ground. What is the middle ground between your heart and head? You can't be moving from one extreme to another all your life. It'll make you miserable. It will make you sick. It will badly affect your relationships and your health if you're always moving from one extreme to the next. You need to be able to find that middle ground of what feels good, but also makes sense logically. So take into account how your heart is dealing with the situation. Feel your feelings. Stop. Get out of your head, because you're really in your head. You're really in your head. about this, and it's just going to make you miserable until you actually feel your feelings and process these emotions and recognize what that middle ground is, because that's the whole lesson here, is finding the middle ground. And that's when your anxiety will also lift. Yeah, especially if you have any anxiety about not feeling successful, feeling like you're always struggling, your anxiety will lift once you figure this out. And then you'll be able to have a new financial beginning, start a new job, have a new move to a new place, but a new beginning in the physical realm, in family and stability. So take some time, feel your feelings, take into account both logic and emotion, both your heart and your head, listen to them both, hear them both out, and then find where can they compromise, right? And that will bring you out of this place of where you're just suffering emotionally and you're not able to move forward. Because that's where you've been sitting. All right, that's the general tarot reading for this collective. Of course, if you want more personal advice, you can book a session with me. I have a booking link in the comment section, and I'll put it in the description for YouTube. So yeah, if you might need a reading, but at the very least, you need to find a way to listen to your heart a little bit more. Get out of your head. So that is my celestial guidance for the week. And of course, again, if you are interested in learning astrology, please sign up for the astrology workshop series that I'm doing, because it is going to be amazing. For one, the slideshows I've made are gorgeous, because one, I'm an artist. And, if I do say so myself, they are gorgeous. It is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be over Zoom, so it's going to be very interactive. We're going to go over a ton of information. I've made it very digestible. So if you've struggled to learn astrology on your own, definitely sign up. I mean, this is a $200 value, and I now have 10 spots available for $150. I think that's an absolute steal, personally, especially considering that I'm an astrologer with over 15 years of experience. I was also raised by an astrologer. I'm second generation. I have been doing this professionally for 8 years now. So definitely show up. If you are interested in learning astrology, this is definitely for you. And if you're feeling called now, there's a reason. We are in the year of the dragon. We are in the year of Saturn. This is very much a time of focusing on your karma. And guess what? You can see your karma in your astrology chart. And if you're really looking to build your life, especially if you want to become a professional psychic, become a professional astrologer, or you want to take those skills into the profession that you already have, this is the time to do it. So if you are interested in joining, there is a link in the comments to the sign up form on Google. So if you sign up there, you will be put on the list for receiving one of the 10 spots. If they get sold out, I'll send you an email and letting you know that they've sold out, and I'll send you a different price. But if you do sign up for the first 10, I'll send you the PayPal link for the $150. And of course, I will email you all the dates and times of the workshops. They are going to be on Thursdays at 3 p.m. from August 8th to September 12th. And if you happen to miss it, I will record it and send it to you so that you still have access to the workshop, even if you can't attend in person or virtually, I guess. So definitely sign up. It's not that much money. Realistically, I make anywhere from $106 an hour to $200 an hour for the services that I do for doing tarot and astrology. You could be making that kind of money too in the future, but you have to be good at this. And in order to do that, you probably should get some training. I will teach you basically in 6 weeks what it took me to learn in 10 years. So I will save you a lot of time. And again, realistically, it's not that much money. In order to, you know, make $100 an hour or more as like a psychic and astrologer, you need to have this knowledge. And so like $150 is like 2 astrology readings. Well, not even 2 astrology readings. My astrology readings are more expensive than that. My eclipse readings are $165. So even to have a one-on-one with me just for tarot is like $106 currently. That's less than 2 personal one-on-one sessions with me. Less than 2 hours of my time for 6 hours in a interactive course to learn what I do. So it's an absolute steal personally for me to be teaching you this in this interactive course. So definitely sign up. Other than that, if you are interested in like a one-on-one personal reading because you do want more personal advice, I do, of course, have my booking link in the comments, and it'll be in the description in YouTube. And there are free birth charts if you're interested in that, but that's my spiel. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. All right, bye.